Welcome back to Unpacking the Week. In these episodes, we open a box. We talk about the armories of the week. We talk about kind of whatever's going on in Flesh and Blood at the moment. Usually we just unpack the tournament and the box. Sometimes it's mail, sometimes it's not. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Go over here to this. And right there. As some of you may know, we are on the Bright Lights arc of this journey. Just got back from an armory. We decided to do a win-a-box, which I love. I love all kinds of competitive, high, top, what do you call that? Top heavy tournament prizing. Love it, love it, love it. Also this weekend over on the West Coast, there is a 1K happening on tomorrow. It's just happening too late in the day for me and a few other people to justify making that trip. I work Sunday morning and it's just not happening, right? So this was our own little 1K. It was a win-a-box tournament. Pretty simple to do setup. Pretty simple to do for you and your LGS to set up if you're interested in something like this. Costed us $15 each. One box, 8 packs, 4 packs. Where it was the pricing structure from top to bottom. And then the store had opened up a box of Mistveil 4 product and opened a gold pack and decided that this was the time and a very awesome thing for them to do, to throw that gold pack randomly at somebody. And we love that. I didn't get it, but the person who took second place did. It wasn't assigned that way. It was just a random prize. We rolled a dice to see who got it, and that's who got it. Also really cool that player is returning to the game. They had taken a small hiatus from the game, and it's just good to see them back. Put the tokens and stuff over here. This mat's kind of getting a little bit of dirt, and I know that I've been killing bugs on it. Having to have a window unit air conditioner, bugs just get in left and right. And I just instinctively kill them when they land anywhere. Mostly because they're annoying as hell. So, I brought Kano to this win-a-box because it was a Living Legend event also. I don't know if I said that earlier, but yeah, we did a Living Legend win-a-box / giveaway of the golden pack kind of event. Now, I think it was, what the hell am I supposed to do with this card? Is that as like a galvanized card? We'll call it that. I brought Kano. I saw that Kano did pretty well in a Living Legend event. It's not like that exact list or anything. I didn't even really look at it. I just know that I have an old style Kano built, and I don't think Oldhim is that great. That's my other deck. He's back on the shelf over there. I don't think he's probably going to be that great into Living Legend. Probably just fine. Because one of our players brought Uzuri, not intentionally. They thought we were going to be playing Blitz, and I did too for most of it, up until they said, nope, we are not doing that. We only have people with classic constructed decks, and they don't want to play Blitz. So they also are some of our newer players, and I'm very happy they decided to stick it out and kind of took my advice a little bit. I think they're Magic players. And they just picked up a few, Leviat and Bolton is who they're playing. And they had said, oh my God, we're going to be going into a Living Legend deck. It's like taking a standard deck into Legacy. Now, for any of you who play Magic and know what those terms mean, or if you don't, it just means taking a really high-powered format and throwing some newer decks into it. And the newer decks just can't have that same level of power. And it feels that way, certainly, from what I can tell. From a new player perspective, that's just what it feels like. I tried to explain to them, and luckily they had seemed to take my words as truth for the moment, and I'm sure they were dipping their toes in very lightly. That is not the case with Flesh and Blood. Living Legend, while yes, it does have some of the more powerful, or who have proven to be powerful heroes in the past, available to us. We had one Icelander and one Dramai player, but we didn't have... he was thinking about Prism, didn't quite do it. Other than that, we had Uzuri. We had an Arachne. Are those tokens? No, those are Cogworks. We had an Arachne, 2 Levias, a Bolton, me as Kano, and I don't know if I already said, but 1 Icelander. It wasn't too crazy of a field. And the Azuri player surprised himself as well as... Thank God we're getting some good expansion slot cards. Surprised himself as well as the Icelander player. The Icelander player had started on that hero, but has been long out of practice, so it went a bit slower. That is not a slam against them. That is just noting that they went to time a few times, because when we don't play these heroes for a while, you kind of forget where you're at. You don't really remember exactly the lines or what you need to be doing at all times. So it was good to get these old heroes back onto the table. Kano, not exactly an old hero, still very much so available, but I wanted to use that as an example for some of the newer players that no, you don't need these living legends. You don't need to be playing Chain. You don't have to have Lexi. Yeah, Star of the Show kind of runs things in some people's eyes, but as we saw in these last Battle Hardens, Zen, Kano, Prism, all completely viable. I think I saw a Chain in there too. Obviously, Chain is just great. But no one expected anything too crazy. So I can just go over my rounds. I saw some of the other games, but I'll just go over round 1 here. Round 1 was against the Arachne player. My friend, very good friend. And I had brought in Spring Tunic and Waning Moon this time because I thought it was going to be a bit of a longer game. I also brought in Sink Belows, Fate for Scenes. I didn't take anything out. I left it at like a 67 card deck. Not sure if that was the correct move or not, but that's what I did. Dang, another expansion slot card. Awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. And we start pretty blistering. I just start ripping cards off the top and say, here we go. And just start trying to shoot arcane damage through. On their turn, they're just full bore, dropping as many reactions as they can to push as much damage as they can. They had banished 2 of my lessons in lava, which was annoying because lesson in lava can be a huge enabler. But on the second turn, I arsenaled a Tome of Findal. And on my turn, I just ate all the damage they wanted to. They were trying to scare me and bluff me into using Kano's ability to waste the cards in hand and all that stuff. No, they didn't know that I had a Tome of Findal, but they were trying to get me to just waste cards, and I was not having it. I just took the damage. I took the 6 damage, played Tome of Findal, drew 2 cards, Kano'd a few times, shot them a few times, and then shot them at the Waning Moon on my turn. Started to become quite the good pattern. Just that every other turn, and then I got a second Tome of Findal, did the same thing, started wearing them down quite a bit. And then we get down to, I think it was, I want to say I was down to about 22 life or something like that, and they were threatening to take away what I knew on the top from opting. I knew what the top of my deck was. They were threatening to take away my last Aether Wildfire, so I just had to pop right then and there, and I did. Pretty standard damage. I think I did a 30 damage turn, nothing too crazy. It was just they were out of cards in their hand and they were presenting, so that was the time to do it. Very standard Kano combo, nothing too crazy. I think it was like Wildfire. It hits for 5 or something instead of 6. And then I flip over like 2 0 cost, shoot him for 6, 12, and then Blazing Aether for like game, right? This is not the point. It wasn't a super exciting turn or whatever. The more exciting thing happens later on in round 2. Round 2, I play against the newer Bolton player, and they're underselling themselves. I don't like to use names, but you know who you are if you played my Kano and you were Bolton this night, and you're watching this video, which I really hope you are, since you just joined not you, but your friend just joined the channel, and I hope you do as well. He kept saying, "Oh, you're overthinking this. You're way overthinking this for me." And I'm like, "No, man, no. I have to respect the player and I have to respect the deck. I don't know what you're capable of. I just have to play accordingly." right? I can't sit here and just disrespect you because I haven't seen you play before. Okay. So I put in the Sink Belows, I put in the Fate for Scenes, respecting the Bolton plays. Kind of awkward hands, it seems like, for them. They're also playing with pretty suboptimal arcane protection. Just new players. You know, they don't have access to all the cards yet. Don't have the reps in. They straight up told me themselves they don't have all the experience in the world against Kano. He just kind of barely knows what he does. So I try to guide him through, but at the end of it, he's like, yep, you said a lot of words. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's kind of confusing. But turn 2 or 3, they get me down to like 20. Yeah, they were just beating the living shit out of me. And then they attack with like a... God, what is it called? Charged Bolt or something like that. Whatever draws you a card when it hits, right? And then just triple beacons it, but only takes a card off the soul for the first one, and then fetches 3 Luminas. And I'm like, okay, so you have a huge turn upcoming, no matter what, and that sucks really bad for me. So on my turn, I just force through whatever damage I can, knowing he's not trying to give up those Luminas, and I just push damage. And Arsenal, thankfully, the Aether Wildfire. On their turn, they are just too giddy, too eager to triple Lumina. They triple Lumina. I go, you have no cards in hand while the Luminas are on the layer. Here we go. You know, crack the Spellfire Cloak, I think, because I brought that in because I knew it was going to be a pretty short game. Crack the Spellfire Cloak, crack Storm Striders, play Aether Wildfire with Crucible and Metacarpus. I had an energy potion from like turn 1, something that I flipped over. From there, it was flip over another 0 for 1 that turned into a 0 for 7. And then I think it was Blazing, if I remember right, which fantastic rips off the top. Didn't even have to worry about it. And that was it. But had I not ripped off the second Blazing, or the Blazing at all, really, they would have had me. That triple Lumina turn would have killed me 100% because I would have no cards left and I was sub 21 life. They had me dead to rights if I did not win right then and there. So that's 2 games where they're threatening to kill me or threatening to take away my way of winning. And I just push and say, hey, I just got to play the game and I'm here to play. Let's find out what happens. And then the third game is the worst matchup ever. It is Dramai. And I actually just assume I'm going to lose. It gets pretty bad. Turn 1, they put down Thamai. And I look at like Scalding Rain, Aether Quickening, all this stuff. And I'm like, none of this targets allies. None of this targets anything but the hero itself. And I am in deep shit. Now, he then proceeds to tell me that many Kanos just scoop once that happens. And I totally get the urge to do that. I know a few of our players locally sometimes will just get very frustrated. But for all the new players watching this game, just play the game through. Learn what you can. Find out what mistakes you're making. Find out what they're going to do. Find out their whole plan. Take note. Play the whole game. Trust me, it's worth it. So we start. Thamai's in play. They're beating the living shit out of me. I flip over an energy potion first on my turn because that's all I can really do is things on my turn at this point. And then, of course, I'm sending Burn over whenever I can. Nice face breaker. Sending Burn over whenever I can, trying to kind of keep parity. But then a Kyloria drops. And I've already blocked. I think it was like a Plunder Run Scar for a Scar. And my option was... No, it was Plunder Run into Blaze Headlong. Okay. And it's 7 coming in, threatening to draw a card, 1 card in hand. And I'm just like, I can't let this hit. So I just full block it up. I have an Eye of Ophidia in my hand after this. And then they drop the Kyloria. And I'm just like... You're going to take my energy potion. And he does, because there's nothing I can do. I can't respond or anything with Thamai on the board. So I just sit there, pound that giant shit sandwich that was that round. And it sounds like, from what I'm saying, I lose, but very clearly by that sentence, you know I don't. Okay? So my turn comes around. It's the tunic turn. Make sure I didn't cheat. I'm going to make sure I didn't cheat because I need to see what Thamai says. That is just a really zoomed in photo. Opponents can't play cards or activate abilities during your turn. Yeah, that's totally fine. So on my turn, it was use the tunic counter, crack the Storm Striders, pitch a blue to the Tome of Findall in my arsenal. Draw 2 cards. So what is it? It's let me get through this pack. It's pitch. Oh no, it was crack the remaining energy potion that Kyloria had yet to take. And then it's Tome of Findall, draw 2 cards, gain 6 life. And then I just have to go for it on my turn, and I have cards in my deck called Aether Quickening. And I go, okay, well, Crucible of Aetherweave, Metacarpus Nodes, Aether Quickening for 1 blue. Okay. So that was blue, Aether Quickening, 4 cards left. Kano, Tome of Aetherwind off the top to draw 2 more cards. Blue, Lessons in Lava. Put the Aether Wildfire on top. Activate Kano twice. I think I have 1 or 2 resources floating from like an overpitch earlier. Don't quite remember exactly how this goes, but then it's flip over the Blazing Aether, and then another Tome of Aether went off the top, and then it's draw, flip it over. Obviously not Aether Wildfire. What's it called? Aether Flare. It's Aether Flare. And then it was Aether Quickening again for another go again. And then I was able to play a Tome of Aetherwind that I drew because I got the extra action point from the go again. And it just kept getting luckier and luckier. And then I Blazing Aethered for like 15 against the Dramai on my turn. But I had to crack everything to do it. So it was kind of crazy. I don't know if that's the exact turn. It's kind of hard to remember. We went step by step, obviously, and took it slow because you have to when you're playing Kano. You just, oh, that's nice. Med kit and a fuel injector. Kind of like a weird little package case there. What are these guys? Middle of the range. So like the scrap. Okay. And that sealed it 3-0 Kano for the Winnabox. Fantastic. We ran it back another game and a very similar thing happened. I just realized that I just have to play on my turn against Dramai because, and I have to be super aggressive. I have to really try to push as much damage as I can before they can get any kind of board state so that when they do get a board state, I can just kind of try to pop off. Went around, watched Leviah versus Leviah match. Some pretty unfortunate banishes with Shadowborn Abomination or Shadow Realm Abomination. I'm not really sure which one it is quite off the top of my head. One was using Ball Breaker Leviah. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but it was fun. The Azuri player started sweeping up left and right. It's, oh my god, I'm not going to do it well at all. I'm playing Azuri. They did get a draw from the Icelander, though. But he was telling me that it was just a flat-out lose. And I think at the end of the game, he was leading life, and he had Bonds of Aghaneed, the Ice Eternals. So he had a real shot at winning that game, but we'll never know. The Icelander held their own. So it's just, we can't tell. The game went to time. There's no way for us to know how that one would have ended. Any other? Come on, give me a Marvel, not that shit. And that was kind of a cool experience, just watching all of these players play off-kilter decks that they're not really comfortable with. We were going to try to shoot for Blitz at one point in time. I brought Blitz with me, but we just can't seem to get like a cohesive decision in the Discord as of right now. I hope we're a bit more in solidarity next week, because I had said, like I said, we got those 2 new players that I really want to encourage. So whatever they're ready to play, I would prefer we play what they want to play, because we've been playing for a long time. We got our way for a long time. Let's get these new players in. Shout out to you if you're watching this video. Thank you so much. Guys, seriously, all of this lighting, all the air conditioner, this new mic, all this is all supported by a few good friends. and a few patrons that are in this. Please do check that out. I really do appreciate any patron I get. Like you can tell if you've been watching from the beginning, I went from like a Q2U. The podcast was shot on these little $20 mic. Now we're on good equipment. I want to keep making all this good quality content. Make sure to tell me if this kind of unpacking the week is just like good listening, because this really is more of a listening format at the moment, you know. I thought that was going to be a Marvel or something. I know the Evo Marvels aren't very cool, but to some people, but I think they're classy. You know, just a quick border. I still need that. I still need every single card from this set, so I'll take it. I'm not going to complain. It's just, I saw the border and got a little excited. Yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, all the normal YouTube stuff. Check out the Patreon, get in the Discord. We can help you. Lots of good players. I could tell you that I'm a Pro Tour player, but it would kind of be a lie because I couldn't go this year. I'll stop whining about that soon. Don't worry. I'll stop worrying about that soon. So it looks like Kano is a formidable hero to bring to Living Legend. I don't know if I want to do like a content piece on that because I do know that the skirmish season is coming up. We got 2 weeks to go. I don't know if I can put together enough data to really guide people into Kano. But I will say there are guides out there that will help you ease into the character. And if I do it, it will just be a straight crazy dive onto data. I will tell you right now, every game is winnable. Every new player out there listening to me right now, just remember, every game is winnable. I even told my Dramai player, yeah, this is game. There's no way. You took one of my energy potions. I don't know if I can come back from this. You have Kyloria. It's just too much. Play it out. They'll play the Tome of Imperial Flame, and it'll either force them to take a huge turn of damage or give up their turn either way. You just have to learn what to do, when to do it, etc. Just like every other game. I think I already have one of those. Other than that, nothing too crazy going on right now. Pro Tour has just ended. There's nothing super exciting coming up except for skirmish. You're starting to see all of the blazes come out left and right. If you have blaze, great. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. Don't worry about it. It's not like you can't play flesh and blood. You can't play blitz unless you have blaze. She is very good, but my Briar deck has shown. Maybe I do put out like a little skirmish guide. If you're playing Living Legend, here's this. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I think is good. I might do that kind of stuff later. Guys, thanks so much for just hanging out with me, checking out the Unpacking the Weeks every now and then. Just unwinding after the armory and the long week of work. Thanks so much again, and this one is zeroed.